Today, everyone must understand that in the world order, as you so aptly put it, there are only two sides, and everyone will have to choose their side. Those who claim to be neutral have either understood absolutely nothing, or perhaps their brains are turned off. It must be said clearly. There is no possible neutrality. There are the oppressors and there are the oppressed. And as a revolutionary loves all people. The proof is that many come from other continents to support us, to help us in this fight. Because everyone who aspires, all the people who aspire to this freedom, to this development, to this harmony, to this union that we want between the peoples of the world, are united by the bonds of revolution. That is why there are no barriers, and a revolutionary loves the people. Wherever there's oppression, wherever there are people who are dominated by other individuals, revolutionaries must be able to speak out. And so thank you to those of you who have come from the European continent, the American continent, from all over to support us. Because for the cause of Thomas Sankara, certainly on October 15, 1987, they thought they had assassinated the man and his ideas. They tried to destroy all the archives, even going through our national television. People tried to destroy everything that could possibly exist. They are witnesses. You can go to the RTB and ask them. All the archive boxes were emptied, trying to totally erase the facts about Thomas Sankara. Thank God some were able to preserve many things of his. Today, more than ever, we realize that the man, yes, the flesh is gone, but the spirit remains in the world. Today, many African heads of state hide behind a so-called African-style democracy, trying to copy, perhaps, their imperialist masters. But today, democracy is showing its limits. It has developed, it has reached its peak. Today, it is in decline. That we must recognize. We must succeed in creating our own model, and our model is African. And as they say, if the meaning of the word democracy is as they say, then it was born in Africa. So here, we have our own way of seeing things. We must become African again, and we must accept living as Africans. As Comrade President Thomas Sankara used to say, it is the only way to live free and to live with dignity. Who, today, more than you, to pass this message to the whole world? Who, today, more than you, can awaken consciences? As I said, everything starts right there. If the youth do not know their history, the youth won't understand today's world or anything about geopolitics. No matter how much you travel the earth, they will never be able to understand the path of the revolution. It goes without saying that from now on, wherever we are, we must spread the message of our history, of where we come from. What we are doing today, why the world is the way it is, so that people can understand and get on board the train of revolution. And so we can move toward harmonious development, toward a real African union. Because this African union that's called a facade today, we don't feel it. There is no union. The continent is torn apart by wars, all due to the manipulation of imperialists. They only want to see us torn apart, killing each other while our wealth is looted. But the message must get through. We must raise awareness. We must never stop speaking out. Some will say that many of you, perhaps, talk too much. I've long been accused of that myself, but we must always speak. I once met the Venezuelan president. He told me, the father of the revolution, every day he spoke on the radio. And he himself, who was his protege, wondered why he spoke every single day. And Chavez said it, you must always speak so people understand the message, and the imperialist message can't get through. Today, more than ever, he understood it, and had come just to encourage me to keep on speaking. While on the continent, our brothers who perhaps still understand nothing tell us we talk too much. And often it's these so-called intellectuals who perhaps haven't understood, who have been totally brainwashed by the Western system, by the imperialist system, who think we talk too much because they can't understand or perceive the message we're sending. Unfortunately, that's their weakness too, but we must continue to speak. Our youth must wake up. Just before coming here, I want to encourage a young lady who was opposed in the past. When she tried to process our cotton into medical absorbent cotton products that are used and she was fought against, the factory had been closed down. Her machines were all dismantled and put away. When we arrived, we tried to support her, and the factory reopened this morning. Africa asks for nothing more: to produce, process, and consume. And we will continue to encourage these kinds of initiatives. But all of this comes through a change in mindset. And also, I would say, by forcing the hands of some. And that is where the revolution lies. Because changing the mindset of the bourgeoisie is difficult. And it is this bourgeoisie that oppresses and continues to collude with imperialism because they have the means. And they also communicate. They use every channel to cause young Africans to stagnate. That is how young Africans end up taken to the water, dying by the thousands in the ocean, trying to reach El Dorado, so to speak. But we must manage to create it here, and it is possible. We have embarked on this revolution, and I believe that today, for Africa, it is the only path that can allow for development. Beyond that, I see no other method that can resist the maneuvers of imperialism and its local lackeys on the ground. You won't be able to move forward. They will always put a spoke in your wheels. Through the very text that the imperialists themselves put forward and led them to develop, through the organizations and institutions that the imperialists helped them establish within our states. We must be able to break all of that so that Africa can reemerge. To unite and move forward. Wars have torn us apart for too long. Speaking of wars, speak, try to touch their hearts. We are at war in Burkina. We know where it comes from, and we are fighting. But when we look at the history of certain countries, it breaks our hearts even more. Sudan, the Congo. In short, enough is enough. Where people die by the thousands and brothers tear each other apart all day long. Here, these are individuals manipulated by imperialism, sitting on the other side, who send them a little money, fuel, weapons, and ammunition, and they kill their brothers. They roam through the countryside, killing without even knowing why they're doing it. But all of this is because their minds are still switched off. You must be able to switch the minds of many Africans back on so that we can wake up. And this is serious. And it is through the communication that you provide. You are already doing it very well, and I encourage you to be able to continue these meetings. We have created the Institute of Black Peoples. We are currently making it operational, and I hope that everyone will participate, in person or via video conference, to continue educating our youth so they take responsibility, understand the world, and so Africa can finally wake up, unite, and live with dignity and freedom. And as I've said before, a revolutionary loves all people. It's the politicians who often cause us to confuse the people. But politicians must not divide the people. So let's work, regardless of our position, to unite the people and not divide them. But we must, one way or another, get politicians to change their approach in Africa. And there, too, we'll keep speaking out, even if it's not diplomatic. But we're gonna do it.